Hey everyone, welcome to this week's car video. This week I am addressing a problem that I've had on my channel, which is not enough classic Porsches. I've got one classic Porsche, as you guys probably know, but nothing from more recent times, and this summer I really hope to address that, and certainly one of my favourite classic Porsches is the one we're going to drive today. This is a very special car to me. I've always loved the first generations of the turbos, the 930s, and I think that's true of a lot of people. A lot of people just love this shape, and this is a special car. So this is the owner of the car, Al. He's going to let me drive it. Luckily today, I'm very fortunate to be allowed to drive his car. I actually left my my YouTube card on your car the other day at a car show, and I was lucky enough that he gave me a call back, and now I get to drive the car. So how long have you had this car for?
I bought this car in 1994, so I've owned it for 21 years.
Nice.
And it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Really?
Absolutely. It's everything I'd always hoped it would be.
Yeah.
Because like you, I've always loved the iconic look of the 930.
Yeah.
The flared fenders, the distinctive rear end.
Yeah.
It takes the 911 to the next level. I mean,
Really?
the 911's a great car in and of itself.
Yeah.
But this is the next best thing.
This
Next level, actually.
Yeah, even just sitting here, it feels so special. The seats hugging you, the lights, even the rear vision mirror. I can see the flared rear arches. Before we've even started the car, this is a special moment.
Yeah, well, you're going to find out why you need those seat bolsters a little bit later.
So even in its standard form, this car, so they started off, I think, as a 3-litre, and then they went up to a 3.3, didn't they?
Exactly.
In the late 70s, 78, was it?
78 is when they went to the 3.3, that's right. And this one's the 3.3.
Right, which bumped it to about 300 horsepower at the time, didn't it?
The Americans were 285, I think,
right.
at that point.
And from what I've seen on other videos and talked to other enthusiasts, it can be a bit of a handful of a car to drive, because the boost suddenly pops in, and you don't want to be in the middle of a corner during that.
Yeah, it'll hurt you.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention.
So your car is not completely original. You've had a bit of work done to it. The previous owner worked on it as well.
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the car is not exactly stock, as you may have intimated.
Yeah.
The engine was gone through when it had about 67 or 8,000 miles on it, and it was completely balanced and blueprinted. They went with reground SC cams, a K27 turbocharger, a larger than stock intercooler, twin plug heads, the stainless exhausts. It's got adjustable boost. The motor is good to 1.4 bar, right. So that's a little heavier than
So what do you think you're getting horsepower wise out of this?
It's somewhere north of 400.
Wow. And you feel that it's been done right? Because there's a lot of these cars that are ruined by
Well, it's interesting. There was a guy by the name of Bruce Anderson, who any Porsche guy will tell you is the guru, and he's recently passed away, but he wrote a book about these cars. And there's a whole section of how to correctly modify a turbo.
Right.
And it's exactly what they did with this car.
Right. So they did it right.
In northern Jersey. They did it right. And it is a fun car. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right. And so inside here, if we have a quick look around where we're sitting in here, I'll just start my little GoPro here. I noticed that there's a boost gauge where the clock used to be here, and this is doing the same thing as the boost gauge on the TAC, but obviously it goes up to 2 bar instead of the 1 bar on the TAC. That's right. So they both work?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
And that one's got a telltale on it, so if you're not paying attention to the boost it'll tell you just how far you kicked it.
I see. And looks like a slightly more modern, but not that modern head unit. It's got a CD player, which is sort of a 90s type of...
Yeah, and there's a 200 amp power booster underneath my seat just to keep things...
And what is this? This is not standard.
Well, it certainly isn't an ashtray.
No, it's not an ashtray. This is where the ashtray normally is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That, if you twist that little baby, it'll take you from 1 bar to 1.4. That's the adjustable boost control.
Okay. That's pretty
cool. And there's
cool.
braided lines going off that run back to the wastegate. That's where the actual control is.
I see.
That's the go switch.
Yeah, and this is the defrost
Your standard
controls.
911 controls.
Yeah, and the standard 911 buttons. Your rear defroster and your
Fog lights in the middle.
and your
Cigar lighter.
Cigar lighter. That's right. And over here, I always love these little tiny buttons they have for the rear wiper lights, wipers. And this is a standard wheel, is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So some of them had. So when did they change from the horizontal wheel? I think the later versions had it like the.
Yeah, I think they did that in the 80s.
Yeah.
I kind of like the look of this one.
I prefer this wheel as
Got a
well. I
good
really
feel to
like it.
it.
Yeah. So this is 79, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 79 will have a 4-speed in it.
Right.
It wasn't right until the end of the 80s that they put the 5-speed in, did they?
I'll give you that.
Yeah. I know. I've recently watched a video from Harry's Garage. He's driving one of these, and he's got the 5-speed, and he talks about how this 5-speed allows you just to keep the car in the sweet spot. Mm-hmm. But I assume you can still do that with the 4-speed. It just takes a little more driving skill.
The additional boost will help you with that.
Oh, yeah. So at what revs am I expecting to feel the boost come in?
You'll get kicked in the back at around 2,500, 3,000.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Good.
Second gear is a mind-bending experience.
All right. And then you've got a sunroof. That works?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, it's certainly a nice-looking vehicle. Anyway, shall we jump outside before we start it up and have a look around the outside?
Sure.
Okay. So these are not standard wheels. You've upgraded the wheels to the larger 17s. They
Predominantly to get access to more varieties of rubber.
Okay. Yep.
It's a good look. The overall diameter of the wheel and tire package stays the same, so it fits in the fender wells.
Right. Looks nice too.
Yeah, it really does.
And allows you to have more modern rubber. So
exactly.
Yeah, that'd be a big bonus.
As I indicated to you earlier, it's not a garage queen.
Yep.
This car
gets
made
used.
to run.
Yep. Yeah, you've got over 130,000 miles on it, so you definitely use it.
50 of which I've put on.
Yep. Shall we have a look in the engine bay?
Sure. So here's where you begin to see the non-standard goodies. That is a bigger
intercooler
than the Porsche model was.
Yep.
Well, you can't see the rest of the stuff.
This is the air conditioning
compressor. That's the one, compromise they made to comfort.
Right.
When they
it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess we're talking the 70s here, so.
Yeah,
and everything else. I mean, the turbochargers are all down here in the rear.
You won't be able to see that. But
yeah.
you can sort of see some of the bits.
Yep.
It's got what they call a crank fire ignition system, which is all solid state stuff, so it's more reliable and manages the twin plug heads a little bit better.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
All right, shall we have a quick look in the front before we take off, just for completeness. Yeah, unlike modern 911s, which are deep and short, this is long and shallow, basically. And it's got a lot of pump up tire.
That's the original tire.
Yes.
The original air pump.
Yep.
And the original toolkit's in there as well.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely. This obviously is not original. No. That's aftermarket.
Yep. Yeah, you've got seem to have braces all around, so it's just a stiffer car all around. But inside, apart from the bars inside, it's pretty original in here by the looks of things. Yeah.
Carpets.
The carpet's
seats,
nice.
everything.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love these seats. The huge bolsters on these seats.
Yeah, they'll snug you right up.
Yeah. All right, let's take it for a drive.
I'm in.
Okay, let's take it for a spin. So,
let's do it.
Let's feel out these pedals first. Oh, they're right over to the right, aren't they?
Takes a little getting used to with the hinge on the bottom, doesn't it?
Yeah. So what he's talking about is the pedal hinges down like this instead of directly in like a more modern car would. And the same with the brakes, isn't it, as well?
Absolutely. It's the old vestiges of Volkswagen.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay, start her up. Oh, there's no power steering here.
Yeah, you're going to be working it.
You're going to be working
When
it.
you get up above 100, it lightens up nicely.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, good. Okay, so 4-speed, straight up first.
Yeah.
Handbrake off, heating off. Off we go. Which way should we go?
Take a left.
Take a left. Looking good. Oh, come on. There we go.
So we're going to want to get a little heat in the car before we get above, 3,000.
Okay.
When the temp gauge reads about 180, you can boost it.
Another 911 owner, he didn't even wave to us. They're such snobs, aren't they?
Just doesn't get the older car thing.
No.
It's a nouveau thing.
Those new 911 owners, what's wrong with them?
Exactly.
Sweating like a rapist. Right.
It's a stop.
Oh, it's a stop.
Cops take a dim view of running them around.
Yeah. I think it's going to take me a couple of starts to get used to that clutch too. Doing all right.
Clutch is relatively new. You can't do too much damage to it.
Yeah. It's more me looking like a fool that I'm worried about. I make myself look like a fool often enough, so that's fine.
See, what's cool about the way the car is designed is that they're really sort of focused on the ergonomics. Everything just sort of falls to hand. The shifter, you got just the right amount of elbow bend.
It's
really,
you did right. It's a very comfortable driving position. That's for sure. It's I'm feeling very comfortable apart from having all these cameras in my face. It feels strangely modern. And the seat, isn't the seat wonderful?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It'll hold you in position when the lateral G's start to kick in.
I want one of these seats at home so I can watch Game of Thrones in it. Okay, so the car's now coming up to temperature, so we're going to try the boost for the first time. I'm going to try it in second gear, is probably a good start.
That'll work.
Okay, I'm going to put my foot down. Oh my God!
Right?
What a surge!
Right?
Wow! Just when I thought, oh, that must be it, suddenly.
And look, you only got to 1 bar.
Wow.
The motor's good for 1.4.
Wow. And is there a noticeable difference between 1 and 1.4, do you think? Yeah.
It's kind of fun, isn't it?
Wow, yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And slow down a little bit. And drop it back into third. Slow down even more. So I want to see it come on to the boost. So here we are, 2,000 revs. I put my foot down, and it starts picking up speed, and then all of a sudden, what a difference, huh?
Yeah. Welcome to the wonderful world of boost.
Yeah. You really have to have the revs up there, huh? So you really, to keep it in the sweet spot, you need to really be over 3,000 the whole time by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the deal.
Yeah. So that must be pretty tricky in a 4-speed. You really have to know what you're doing to keep it within that boost.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And to a large extent in street driving as well. I mean, you don't want to lug these motors.
Yeah.
You sort of want to keep them, 2,000, 3,000 RPM.
Yeah.
You're just going to cruise around.
Yeah.
But that's what 400 plus horsepower feels like in a 2,900 pound car.
Yeah, and I think that's I mean, 400 horsepower is a lot of power, but when you take in consideration that this is 1,000 pounds lighter than a modern 911.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the horsepower rating isn't impressive by today's standards.
No.
When you put the package together
That's
on a
right.
pound
Yeah.
basis,
Yeah.
it's time to rock and roll.
Yeah. And you know, it's not just the power to weight ratio. It's the way that it delivers the power is so unique, isn't
It's
it?
a little peaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it comes on with a rush.
Yeah. You don't want to be doing that in the middle of a corner, I suspect.
Or in the rain.
No. This is not an all-weather car, I suspect.
Yeah, you know, if you're going to play with it, you don't want to be playing it on a wet surface. Puts a smile on your face every time, doesn't
It really does. You know,
Yeah, there you got the wave that time.
there we are, there we go.
Another turbo.
I think that was a turbo, yeah, he recognizes.
They get it, yeah.
Yeah, kindred spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's actually probably jealous.
Yeah, he is.
So he doesn't have the iconic look that we have.
He's not having the fun we are.
Absolutely.
He's not feeling the feedback in the wheel and the trouble keeping it on the road and, you know,
Exactly.
keeping it above the boost. He's just sitting back. It's so...
In air-conditioned comfort.
Yeah, it's so easy these days. Grabbing your leg.
Twice, that's
It's twice. It's not a good sign.
I'm going to basically call that distraction.
Yeah.
Just overwhelmed by the car.
Okay. We don't really want to get on the power in the middle of a corner. But it's a beautiful handling little car, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So many feelings coming towards you. The sound, the feeling through the steering.
All very elemental.
Yeah.
Driver's car.
Driver's car. Back down to second. Sneak through this corner here. Sometimes the roads in Connecticut are good, sometimes not so good.
Yeah, the suspension gets a workout.
Yeah.
Not like it should.
So this is how I'd find you on the weekend sometimes, cruising through these Connecticut back roads.
And New York back roads.
The New York ones are nice, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Stop sign.
So inconvenient. When they're
So inconvenient. We don't normally take any notice.
Yeah. Unless the men in blue are hanging around. You'll enjoy this little section of road. It's a little tight.
It's pretty, yeah. But yeah, it's the go-kart handling which I'm enjoying.
Absolutely. How's that work for you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Nice and flat, right?
Yeah, nice and flat.
Now you're getting to appreciate those bolsters, aren't you?
Yeah, the seats are great. Seats are great, but it's also, you're so low down. You feel the speed, you understand the limits of the car.
Yeah. You got a great line of sight right through the fenders.
Yeah.
Right down to the road. I mean, that's what everybody talks about.
And a bit of boost when you need it.
Always helps. Nice to know it's there.
Yeah.
Got that little rumble coming out from back.
Yeah.
That exhaust.
I envy you this car.
Join the club, my man.
So what's the cost of a good original 930 these days, do you think?
Yeah, well, you're going to be a little shocked.
Yeah.
The values were level at about 25 to 30,000 bucks for quite a while.
Really?
And about a year and a half ago, they started just doing this on the
Oh,
ground.
really?
I mean, you know, you'll see prices for a mid-level car in the $70,000 to $80,000 range.
Ah.
And a really clean original.
Yep.
I mean, a couple of them just traded down at Amelia Island.
Yep.
For, you know, how about 200,000?
Ah.
Yeah. But one of them had 14,000 miles, and the other one was
yeah.
Al Holbert's car.
Right.
Remember that guy?
But yeah, it's getting like the 993s, which is just so crazy, the pricing of those now.
But you know, it's they're finally finding their place in the collector car world.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, after sort of playing second fiddle for, you know, decades.
Damn BMW drivers.
Go figure. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far the values climb now. I mean, people have always described these things, you know, as iconic.
Yeah.
You know, the flares, the classic. You know,
such a beautiful shape.
Exactly.
Finally, a little bit of a drive on the highway. Feel that turbo boost again. Merit. Oh, we're gonna run on, that's good. Come on, BMW, get out of our way.
BMW.
Those BMWs will be the death of us.
In third gear on the parkway.
Frustration. Maybe we'll just drop back a little bit.
Yeah.
Someone will sneak in front of us.
Yeah, that invariably. You're getting on boost.
There we go. Woo!
Brakes work pretty well too, don't they?
Yeah. Actually, the brakes work surprisingly well.
Well, they're 917 drive. They should. Yeah. They're cross-drilled rotors.
Yeah, cross-drilled rotors. We should have looked at that when we were looking around the outside. Yeah, there's not a lot of shortcomings about this car, really, are there?
Absolutely not.
It's such a fun car to drive.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's like we were saying earlier. That's why you buy these cars.
Yeah.
There's a certain purity to it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you letting me drive your car today. It's just been been such a blast.
A lot of aficionado to another.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much.